from the New York Post. Prince Andrew free to travel abroad as FBI ends probe into royals' Jeffrey Epstein link. Wow. I wonder if there was any evidence that he was involved with Epstein and Maxwell and they were victims. Could it be perhaps the statements from the victim and the picture of him with the victim and they're letting him just go? I'm pretty sure that the powers that be are not going to appreciate us constantly staying on this story. And I would not be surprised if we face a massive censorship from the algorithm over it and smear campaigns, because they'd certainly appreciate if we talked about something else. You can see how flustered they're getting. But yo, check this out. It's the news. Prince Andrew can finally end his self-imposed travel ban after a leaked memo revealed that the FBI is closing its investigation into the royals' Epstein links. The disgraced Duke of York, 65, has left the UK once in the last 6 years over fears of an arrest. Civil lawsuits are being subpoenaed. Now it appears as though the scandal-scarred prince, who has been kept at arm's length from the royal fold, is able to venture out of the UK without fear of repercussions. He has been abroad once since the scandal erupted, a source told The Sun. He has always been very nervous about going abroad and felt he'd always be looking over his shoulder, as he could be subject to civil action or worst, being arrested. Hopefully, with this out of the way, it means that he can at least leave the country. What's he supposed to do with the rest of his life? He hasn't been convicted of any crime and can't sit around doing nothing at Royal Lodge forever. I suppose the big question is the U.S. going to issue an arrest warrant for him and then demand the U.K. extradite him?
Not anymore. If they
or not extra.
Well, I guess I was gonna say I guess not anymore. I mean, they did try. They had to work with the UK authorities before to actually be able to interview him, and then all of a sudden they just decided in 2024, okay, well we're not even going to go down that road anymore. We're not even going to try to interview Prince Andrew. But there's so many other things that a lot of people don't know. They don't realize that he lied about the amount of time that he said that he spent with Jeffrey Epstein. It turns out that it was about 10 times as much time as he said that he spent with Prince Andrew or with Jeffrey Epstein, and also the fact that there were text messages between the two of them saying, "Okay, can't wait to play again soon. We'll play more soon." I mean, just the weird stuff like this. I mean, if you're not going to give any sort of answers as to why you would drop the investigation into the Epstein case in general, at least give us some answers as to why you're going to let this creep walk free and not even try to, even if the UK police or whatever don't take him into custody, at least show us that he is a pedophile. In the court of public opinion, we'll convict him.
Well, they have said that the administration is alluding to the possibility of more information coming out, right? I've seen at least some reports on that.
Judicial Watch put out a report saying that they're still reviewing Epstein files.
So, I mean, if that could, produce some kind of answers, I'm sure that it's not going to be enough. But, I mean...
Sure. You guys remember when, 3 months ago, Virginia Giuffre, the alleged victim of Andrew, killed herself?
Allegedly,
yeah,
right?
I remember.
And how weird it was where, a week before that or whatever, she was in the hospital, all bruised and battered, saying, "I'm in the hospital dying from a car accident. My kidneys are failing. I just want to see my kids one last time."
I believe.
And everybody was kind of like, is she just begging the deep state not to murder her until she sees her kids?
I think Epstein, I don't know why I think this. He said that someone tried to poison him while he was in prison. Do you guys remember that at all?
I don't know, but let me just say now that there's no principal witness against Prince Andrew,
Right. Yeah.
look at this. It's just the probe is gone.
Epstein's brother was interviewed by Piers Morgan. I don't know if you guys saw that. And he said he thinks that Trump is heavily involved with Epstein. And Piers like, there's no evidence of that. He's like, well, if it were true, I wouldn't be surprised.
Dershowitz was saying, I didn't see that. Dershowitz was saying that he was telling
got
people
that.
We're talking about that?
We got it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we'll talk about that later.
We'll pull up that video.
Okay.
So it's like there's two levels of, like you were saying, censorship now is this story trying to quash. Like, not only is it this level of the people that run the world, the 12 families, the bloodlines that are in control of the monetary system of the liberal economic order, whoever they are. There's that level of people playing with Jeffrey Epstein. Then there's the American government, which doesn't have to take the bullet for this one. It's not the American government's responsibility to take the heat for Epstein. Epstein was a global consortium. This whole thing, the U.S. government, I don't blame them for not wanting to bear the brunt of this, but at the same time, Cash looked like, or Dan Bongino looked like he was in a hostage situation. I think that they came to him. People think that these people are like video game villains or like movie villains that aren't real, but I think he was approached and they're like, if you tell people what is going on, we're going to kill your family. And not just your immediate family, your entire bloodline. And we're going to choose when they die, and we're going to choose how and this is called a blood vendetta. It doesn't ever go away. Your family lineage will be wiped out. And if you tell anyone that we told you this, your family lineage will be wiped out.
I don't think that happened, but
I don't know, but I'm just like, I'm done acting like they exist and then living in cognitive dissonance. Like,
I mean, so there's two principal probabilities based on what we know. And that is Trump went in and said, haha, Prince Andrew, what a great stand-up guy. Let's get him off the hook and all my Epstein buddies, hoo-hoo. Or he said, oh, crap, they've got me by the balls and I have no choice. Which one is it?
I don't know. I don't have any sense as to whether or not they're telling the truth. I know that everything looks suspicious as hell, and that's why I'm hoping for more answers I'm hoping they'll release more information, and hopefully there are some answers there. But just because I don't know doesn't mean that I think that Cash and Dan Bongino are now a part of the conspiracy.
Right. The Maxwell thing, I'm going to call it the Maxwell files. Everyone plays with Jeffrey Epstein. He was one of her guys. It's the Maxwell, her dad, Robert Maxwell. Like, they are the ones at the center of this. And they're a blackmail operation. So it doesn't surprise me that Cash and Dan were blackmailed. Like, that's what they do. The Trump is being blackmailed. That's very likely. Or I shouldn't say it's very likely. It is probabilistic in that it is a blackmail ring that they're trying to break. And now they're being blackmailed. That wouldn't surprise me.
Well, I mean, it's possible, but I don't think that there's actual evidence of any.
No, I don't think there's any. Not that I've ever seen.
People look at this and they'll say, "Oh, well, your theory is totally wild. It's so far out there." But what breeds that is the fact that we all feel like, and rightfully so, that we're being totally lied to. It's probably the most brazen lie I feel like I've heard out of this administration so far, and I hate to say that. We got to the point where, when was Bondi lying? Was it when she was on Fox News 15 times, or is it now? It's one or the other. It doesn't go, well, you can't say you have all these files on your desk, you have all these videos, all this information, and this binder is only phase one, and we're going to release so much more, and then say, oh, well, poof, no, it doesn't exist. None of it exists. And this issue is not going away. As much as they think that this is just another piece of news where it's just people are going to forget about it and move on, I'm telling you, if they don't explain themselves, and they're not transparent about this process, what made them close the case? What made them decide they're not going to release any information? This is going to be a stain on the administration if they don't act on it.
Last night, the conversation came up that if it were revealed and it completely destroyed the world order, like the Saudi princes, the Russian magnates, all the Chinese bureaucrats, all the people that were involved in this somehow turn on the people that released the data, the American government, and then they blacklist, they stop working with them. Just fucks up the entire order. Would you be the one to pull the trigger? Would you release the files if there was not only, it's not going to, what would it solve?
We're talking about child rapists, because the fact that none of these people are being held accountable is the reason that they're going to continue. This stuff is still happening. It's still happening. So it's going to. I think it's going to be enabled more if you don't do anything about it and there's no consequences.
I totally disagree with that. The idea that if you don't hold them accountable, it will only produce more. Even if you hold them accountable, there will be more. For all of human history, wealthy people, powerful people have taken advantage of children or taken advantage of their positions of power and broken the law. So the idea that that this would solve that, no, it would.
If it prevents one child from being raped, it's worth doing.
It would be justice for the people that actually have broken the law, and that's good. That's something that we should go for. But there are a lot of people that are like, oh, this will fix everything. This will not fix anything. There will just be a new crop of people doing disgusting things.
That's what I was thinking, is if you remove the people, the positions that are still there functioning, and if you put new people into those positions, that behavior.
We're talking about a CEO. Okay, if there's a CEO of a company and he gets fired, you put a new CEO in, he's going to be functionally doing the same thing. But if there is a CEO is a pedophile and you remove him and you put a CEO there who's not a pedophile, then you've gotten rid of the pedophile.
It's like their whole families. It's these families, and you can't. How are you going to
get all the people in the family are blood? I think are bad. I think that you should probably have evidence for holding people accountable.
Serge, before the show, what would you do if you were born into one of the richest families on earth and had everything ever? You just do what your family did, and so that's what's happening. If you remove the perpetrator and a new person gets, the family's still there, and I'm not suggesting to try and take over family or get rid of families because that's, that tit for tat, I don't want my family obliterated.
I think the issue is that evil is easy, and it always has been.
Yeah.
It is easier to succeed as an evil person than as a good person.
And humans are animals, man, and people will take advantage of that. The mammal, they'll use you as a slave if they can.
I just want to be clear here. So the argument here is, taking down the pedophile ring will not stop people from feeling enabled to do this. These rich, powerful elites. So you don't think any of them would be deterred if they were? You don't think it enables them if they're not held accountable? If nobody's held accountable and they know that, you don't think that they'll?
It would, and it probably did. Prince Andrew didn't leave the country. Mm-hmm. He was terrified. So yes, arresting them will inhibit these people.
Those people, but it won't inhibit the people that come after them or other rich people. The point that I'm making.
I disagree. That's.
No, no. The point that I'm making is rich people, powerful people have always felt that they're above the law, and they've always done things that are outside of the law. So yes, these people the people that have broken the law, we should punish them. I think that they should release all the information. Like if there are people that have violated children, they should be prosecuted, go to jail, whatever the maximum punishment for the law is. Yes, but to say that doing this will fix a problem, no, that's trying to fix the human condition. There will always be evil people. You give people money and you give them access to power.
Right, but do you think there is more or less murder when we arrest people for murder?
I think that the people that commit murder don't think that they're going to get caught or don't care. The vast majority.
Is there more or less murder when we enforce against murder?
I think there's probably the same amount. I don't think that there's more or less.
So there's no point in enforcing against murder because
you punish people for murder. The reason that you have laws against them is so that you punish the people that do. I don't believe that it's a deterrent, though. I genuinely don't.
I think the law is a deterrent. It can function as it is for me.
Like for normal people, but you're not a person that would commit murder.
If it was legal and I was encouraged to my whole life, I might be a murderer. Like if you were supposed to and you were raised that way?
I think that people that would commit murder will commit murder regardless of the law. I don't think that laws deter because people break the law all the time. I break the law when I speed, right? Like people break the law all the time. So your level of comfort with breaking the law is what actually matters. If you are the kind of person that's impulsive and you're like, I don't care, I'm going to go do this, the law doesn't stop people from murdering people. People still murder.
I'm pretty sure there would be a substantially greater amount of murder, particularly coming from the left as a good example, if they thought there would be no enforcement action against them.
I'm not so convinced. I honestly.
Yeah,
don't think
I'm pretty sure.
Is another one.
I'm pretty sure the Antifa guys who tried. I'm pretty sure the Antifa guys who lured those cops out and shot them in the neck would have just been much more overt about it and walked up to the building in a line with rifles, blasting into the building.
No, because the reason that they didn't do that isn't because of the law. It's because of the guys with guns. They were literally going after other dudes with guns. The deterrent is people that are going to shoot back, not the law.
There's the
California. So the issue is, you have the authority to use the law. The police have the authority to respond with lethal force.
Most places and most people have the authority to respond with lethal force.
So when these people have been advocating for killing cops for years, why aren't they doing it?
They're doing it. Because,
they're not.
Well, they're the people that advocate for killing cops, but that don't do it. They're not the kind of people that generally are murderers. Look, if you have someone break into your house and you're in a state that's not a stand your ground state, most people are not going to say, "F you, I'm going to shoot you," even to save their own lives. They're going to try and get out of there because they're afraid of killing people, not because they're afraid of what's going to happen.
Why is that gangbangers in Chicago have other people commit murders for them?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of reasons for that, right? Because they put people in a position so that way they break the law, so they go into the system. They're committed to the gang,
so
stuff like that.
Yes, but you know the real reason.
What?
There is one reason why adult gangbangers in Chicago get kids to commit murders.
Well, part of it is because they want the shorter sentences and stuff like that.
The first and only reason is they literally will tell the 15-year-old, "You'll get locked up for 3 years. I'll get locked up for 20. You go do it." So the law clearly is a deterrent in that regard.
I think it is also
I think the people that are actually willing to go and commit murder. The law is not a
theft in California. They made theft legal up to $1,000, and there's so much more theft. If the law was preventing that, was making people not do it. So I think
it's like the law is basically saying like, "Hey, if you do this, I'll hit you," and so people are like, "I don't want to get hit, man."
Threat of force, literally force.
I think
the police force.
I think when it comes to violence and stuff like that, I don't think that when it comes to murder and stuff, I think the people that will commit murder are the kind of people that will commit murder, and I don't think that
I think both directions of this argument are valid, because there are people that will commit acts regardless of the law, and especially people that feel like they're above the law, or people that are so psychotic they don't even care about the law. There is those. Maybe that's both, the people at the top end and the people at the bottom of the bell curve.
So there are quite literally gangs in Chicago that will publicly state the law is a deterrent. They'll be like, no, we can't do that because we'll get locked up, and we can't get locked up right now.
You know what concerns me, though? Because you were saying if this could even save one kid breaking up this pedophile ring or breaking up this cabal. But what could happen is it disrupts order so drastically that we have another Libya appear, and child trafficking times a million.
What are the circumstances where that happens, though?
The U.S. dollar fails because the banks give up on the liberal economic order because they betrayed them.
Off of jailing pedophiles?
Yeah, the Swiss banks that are involved in this stuff will be like, all right, fuck these people, this liberal economic order. We're going to China. We're going to Russia. They're dead to us now, and so is Germany or wherever they're importing their masses into.
Yeah, I don't think a system like that should be allowed to exist.
It's impossible to stop it, dude.
The
viciousness of humanity is.
So is your argument is your argument that we should not try to stop evil from happening?
Sometimes trying to stop evil will create more harm if you did nothing.
Is it that there is evil that is so powerful we are best left to just
yes, I think
do nothing?
Yes.
All right, I'll see.
I think there are some what you would call evil. There are some aspects of humanity that are just unstoppable.
This is the first time I'm hearing this argument about the Epstein
realized Ian was wrong. I'm back.
Oh, hey.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.